Apple has a problem. It's so bad that Tim Cook is calling it a 100-year flood. The price for tiny but critical components buried inside our electronics is skyrocketing, specifically memory and storage chips. And Tim Cook told me it's going to force Apple to raise prices. I spoke with the outgoing Apple CEO in an exclusive interview about the company's plan to adjust to this new reality. Cook told me that the company's planned price increases are unavoidable, and while Apple has tried to mitigate increased costs, the situation, he said, has become unsustainable. So why is this happening now? Chips have gotten faster and cheaper every couple years, powering a new technology revolution every decade or so. But in the last few months, that magic formula has reversed. That's because the prices for memory and storage chips, which are inside virtually every computing device, have suddenly skyrocketed. Apple's latest warning is remarkable because it's been the biggest buyer of storage since the days of the iPod, and also a giant buyer of memory. But now, there's a new competitor in town, artificial intelligence. AI companies are flooding the memory and storage market with money and securing much of the supply. Suddenly, Apple no longer has the leverage to push the storage and memory makers for the lowest prices. It has to wait in line. What Cook told me on our call is that Apple has already been absorbing higher costs, but now it is swinging over to option 2, price increases. Cook didn't say how much prices will increase, or when, or on what products. But to give you an idea of the scale, research firm Tech Insights says the cost of memory and storage inside last year's iPhone 17 Pro was $50. The cost for the same components in the upcoming iPhone 18 Pro, around $200. Now, the good news for Apple is that it's in a better position than less profitable companies who have little cushion to absorb the higher costs. Other companies are saying this is worse than tariffs, worse than the chip shortage during the pandemic. So this isn't just an Apple story. It's a tax on basically everything with memory and storage chips. And few consumers realize this wave is coming.
Price anchoring is when companies show you a large price first so that their real price seems like a bargain, and nobody did this better than Steve Jobs. You see, in 2010, Steve Jobs gets on stage to announce the iPad, and he just puts a price behind him. $999. And he just leaves it there while he keeps talking, and he lets the crowd sit with that number. And then after a few minutes, he says, "I am thrilled to tell you that the iPad pricing will not start at $999. The price crashes on the screen, and then he says, "It'll start at $499. And the crowd literally erupted. It was as if they just won the lottery or something. But here's the thing. The price of the iPad was always going to be $499. The $999 was literally just a number he threw out there so that people felt like $499 was a good deal. And it ended up working. Apple sold 40 million iPads. And this concept works especially well when people don't have a frame of reference for how much something should cost. For example, this company had a bread maker that was $279 and no one was really buying it because no one knows how much a bread maker is actually supposed to cost. So what they did was they put a $429 bread maker right next to it, and then immediately the sales of their $279 bread maker doubled because it seemed like a good deal next to the other more expensive bread maker. And the beauty of price anchors is that sometimes people just end up buying the more expensive thing anyways. So you can list something that's 10 times more expensive that you don't even expect anyone to buy. It'll cause more people to buy your cheaper option because it seems like a better deal, but 1 in 10 people will buy that really expensive thing anyways, and that 1 in 10 might account for like half your revenue. And this is actually true in my business where I sell juggling balls. Anyways, these psychological principles have been heavily supported in the book Influence, and if you want more digestible versions of them like this, follow or you might never see me again.
This is a sad situation for the Apple users. I feel sorry for all the Apple users out there, including me, because I'm an Apple iPhone user. And this is crazy because it's like one thing after another. And they're talking about the storage price going to increase sooner than later. And that's the strange part, because just when we thought it couldn't get any worse, here comes something else. What's next? And that's the crazy part. And like how the video was explaining, they do a lot of price anchoring to situations and certain costs because the average consumer don't know what something is worth. And that's the crazy thing. And can you imagine how many companies do that? Not just speaking about Apple. I know we're talking about Apple, but just in general. Because they know the average consumer don't know the worth of anything. because they don't take the time to just do their research and look for it. And that's the scary part, because who knows? We could have been getting cheated the whole time. And I know a lot of people are still going to buy an iPhone, and they still going to need iCloud storage data. And it's just getting sad. And watch, they're going to start making it faster for you to run out of space so you can get the iCloud storage or buy another phone. And iPhones are expensive as it is. You can't even get a good iPhone for under $1,000. You'll probably have to get an old iPhone. And it's still going to be a nice amount for an old phone. And that's the scary part. It's like they really do not care about the consumer. And a lot of people still got their old iPhones, like iPhone 11, iPhone 12, iPhone 13. And I don't know what's the future for Apple products, because Apple make a lot of products. Apple Watches, iPads, and a lot of people have iPads. I know my relatives have iPads. I don't own an iPad. I might get an iPad. Let me know if you own an iPad, and how do you feel about these all of a sudden price increases? It's always something, you know? It's like soon as they act like we're gonna get ahead, they bring us back down. And it's always a shortage in something. They've been saying it's a shortage in something since 2020. It's starting to sound like a lot to me, in my opinion. Let me know how y'all feel about that. No matter where you go, when you go to the restaurants, it's a shortage in chicken, it's a shortage in everything. And you go into a chicken restaurant, a fast food one, and it's a shortage in chicken, and you still open? That's a shortage in car parts, it's a shortage in, it's always a shortage somewhere. Something going on. That's all I'm saying. If y'all feel that way, let me know. Because this is terrible. 1 minute, we get a minimum price decrease, and then it just go back up. And then, like he was stating in the video, they do a lot of price anchoring. Just throw a number out there, or don't even say a number to have you guessing, just to see what you'll pay for it, and then just make up a number. And that's the strange, scary part. Just greed to me. And I don't get it. Maybe I'm just tripping, or maybe I got a point. Because I want Apple to make some sense into this. We're all Apple users, so we want to make some sense into this. We want to know. I've been using Apple since I was, 14 years old. And a lot of people just buy iPhones to me because they're convenient. A lot of people like Androids. I ain't never had an Android before. But I think pretty much people buy iPhones now because of the convenience. They're more comfortable using iPhones. So let me know how y'all feel about this situation, because it's getting scary. Leave it in the comments, and I'm going to see y'all on the next one. Peace.